Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna start this off with this, man. Men have to learn to keep their mouths shut. I say that to say this. I'm at the bar not too long ago, minding my business, having a drink, talking to the dude serving the drinks and whatnot about fantasy football. Got a guy overhearing the conversation. He interjects. No harm, no foul. Talking about football, talking about drafts. Then it slowly transitions over to talking about women, talking about cities, talking about traveling. Then it transitions over into men need to travel to Far East Asia if they're looking for a wife. He got this rhetoric from the quote unquote red pill MGTOW section in YouTube. I'm not going to say who specifically because that's not what this video is about. But men, you got to keep your mouth shut. You're in public places. You don't know who's overhearing your conversations. You try to bring a date, quote unquote date, to the coffee shop. You're having conversations about what you support, what you agree with, things like that. You don't know who's around trying to overhear your conversation just because they're unhappy with their lives. You got a quote unquote gay guy who wants to interject himself into your life, trying to tell the woman to run. When this man is already confused with his life, he wants to bring more misery to another situation. Instead of minding his damn business, he wants to get involved, stick his nose into places where it doesn't belong. But that's the liberal in a nutshell. They want to stick their nose in everybody else's business, but you can't tell them shit. So, men, you got to understand that you can't say too much. You got to keep things to a minimum, especially if you're on a date for the first time or the second time. It doesn't matter because you really don't know these women. They got the mask on very well, but majority of them are liberal. Majority of them support these bullshit agendas that are killing them slowly. They're going to pop up 40 years old talking about where's the real men at. There will be a real aluminum device that's waiting for you in the nightstand because you're killing yourself slowly. You don't need to say that you support Kevin Samuels like this individual did in this article to where a gay guy overhears that and passes a note to your date. But we're going to dive into the article. Like I said, men, you got to know when to keep your mouth shut. Keep things to a bare minimum. Let the woman tell you all about herself. Ask her questions. Ask her open-ended questions. You don't need to tell her about what you support because at the end of the day, you don't need to debate with her. What the fuck are you going back and forth with the woman that you're not getting asked from? A potential prospect and whatnot. So you got to be easy just because you heard some talking points and shit from him and now you want to run that to a date. The dates aren't ready, but the miserable people that's around you, that's overhearing your conversation, are ready to blow your conversation up, are ready to blow your relationship up. They don't know the business of your relationship. They don't know the details of that, but they will butt in. What if you and that girl was having a healthy conversation? You know what I'm saying? You was putting her on to the dude, and this gay guy wants to not mind his business and tell that girl to run. And if you slap that dude, you're wrong because now you're homophobic. Another story, another day. Woman on date stunned when stranger passes note telling her to run. Too many red flags. Run, be safe, girl. You already know that it was a girl or a gay guy saying some shit like that. All right, check it out. He tried to save the date. A woman's date night in Virginia took a wild turn when a stranger passed her a note telling her to run from her companion because of too many red flags. Her description of the bizarre warning amassed thousands of likes on Twitter before the gal locked her account, the Daily Mail reported. The now hidden tweet posted over the weekend by user Hadia S. recounted how the rendezvous started innocently enough as Hadia joined a man for a coffee date. However, when her date got up to go to the bathroom, the gay guy, quote unquote, sitting behind her passed her a note scribbled on the back of a CVS receipt, the woman recalled. An accompanying photo shows the message which cautioned, quote, too many red flags, run, be safe, girl. Now you got a gay guy who's unhappy with his life, is confused with what gender that he wants to be and what gender that he wants to pursue, is going to overhear and talk about quote unquote red flags. This is the life, this is the society that we are living in today. Look at this shit. I mean, she ain't ugly. All right, let's keep going. Hadia has since obliged in a series of follow-up tweets. One of the warning signs she recounted was that the two didn't see eye to eye on the recent scandal involving rapper DaBaby, who sparked outrage earlier this month over homophobic remarks. the remarks weren't homophobic. If the baby would have made those comments directed towards quote unquote bad bitches, would they have been controversial? Because I guess bitches are so used to being disrespected that it would have been another day in the park. But just because he said if you ain't a dude and you ain't topping off no other dudes in the parking lot, now he's homophobic. We got to understand, if you don't want anybody to be disrespected, it shouldn't be just because of your lifestyle choice or gender. It should be just nobody gets disrespected. That's it. So I guess he probably was like, what did he say that was wrong? And she's probably like, that's homophobic. He did too much. Fuck him. He's canceled. Yada yada. You know how these girls get down. They want to shame you for saying some shit that a good amount of men want to say. And that's why a lot of men are gravitating towards Kevin Samuels' channel. Yes, it could be entertaining. We don't know if the women are trolls chasing for clout. It is what it is. But the point of the matter is this. His channel is growing. He's growing in popularity. The YouTube shit is trickling down to real life to where this dude actually wants to say that he's supporting this guy in a coffee date. Why the hell would you say that? That's like her saying that she's a feminist and you're still there. Asking her why is she a feminist, there's no point. If she already said that she's a feminist, go ahead and get the check and say, I'll catch you on the flip side. There's nothing else to talk about. Although she didn't specify which side she took on the issue, another involved the mystery man's alleged support of Kevin Samuels, a YouTube dating guru, who reportedly urged his male followers to make misogynistic and even violent comments towards women. Where does he do that? See, this is propaganda right here, and this is the main point to why people can't just get any type of information from one source just because it might be notable and run with it. You got to do the due diligence on your own. Where on Kevin Samuels' channels, on his videos that pop up on numerous sites, is he encouraging violence? Let me know. However, despite recognizing the quote-unquote red flags early on, Hadia says she ultimately decided against aborting the date as she wanted to debate Mr. Wrong on the issues they disagreed on. She has nothing else to do. She's like one of these miserable females that want to go back and forth with the quote-unquote dusties in comment sections. The women that want to call everybody dusty, but their vagina is just as dusty, popping themselves to sleep on a night-to-night basis, but they want to go back and forth with a man because they're not getting no energy from any men at all. So they would rather debate with you instead of being sane and going somewhere and read a book, meditate, something that will help them. But no, they want to go back and forth with random men about topics they obviously don't support, topics that's not going to change their mind. They just want to be heard. Nothing more, nothing less. She recognized that her inaction likely didn't sit well with her note-passing protector, joking in a subsequent tweet, "I'm sure my guardian angel was exhausted and was like, bitch, leave." Nonetheless, Hadia insists that the words of warning were greatly appreciated and added some laughs to my night, adding that there won't be a second date. Suffice it to say, the impromptu dating advice split social media, with many seconding the Samaritan's message. Run, please. He's probably in a group chat rating you in a scale of 1 to 10. One ride or die supporter wrote, Kevin Samuels fan is 100% a red flag. However, others thought Hadia was unfairly condemning her date for having different opinions. Of course, you can't have different opinions when you're dealing with majority of the females in today's society because they're far gone. There's no other way to put it. They're far gone. So because he had his own opinion on people/subjects which didn't directly align or better yet comply with yours, his personality strikes you as toxic, wrote one skeptic. This isn't the first time a Samaritan used a well-timed note to warn women of a potential wackadoo in their midst. In June, a vigilant Florida bartender saved 2 women from being hit on by a creepy customer by passing them a note disguised as a receipt. Just like I said, to the men that's in the dating game, be easy to where you want to take these women, these potential prospects for whatever you want to pursue. Be easy to where you want to take them to. You can't let these bitches know that you support Kevin Samuels or you watch Red Pill channels or you are quote unquote MGTOW, whatever the fuck it may be. You got to keep that shit to yourself. If you feel like you're a supporter of one of those things, the best thing that you can do is ask open-ended questions. And these women, majority of them who are narcissistic, self-worshippers, love to talk about themselves, will talk themselves to death. And you won't have to say a word. You won't have to say, I like Kevin Samuels. You won't have to say, I don't feel that the baby's comments were crazy. You won't have to say none of that shit. Ask something in that nature. Whether it's a movie, a TV show, something like that, bro. You got to be creative. You got to be clever. Period. Point blank. Ain't no other way to put it. I'm out.